You have what others want. Semen retention. What do I mean by this? Well, you can probably guess. You have the energy that others desperately are ravenous for. It's like they need it, but they don't even know what it is that they need. It's like you're around a bunch of addicts that are just fiending, just scratching themselves, just fiending. And they don't even know what they need, right? But they look at you and they see that you have it. Whatever they need, you have, but they don't even know what they need. It's the strangest thing. It's surreal. This is, life just gets weird. Life gets weird on semen retention, I'm telling you. I've been doing this for a year, not unbroken streak. Many, streaks in there, many relapses, but I tell you, this buildup of energy, I think that there is a sixth sense, right? There's taste, touch, smell, um, hearing, and vision. There we go. I think there's a sixth sense, and I think it's some sort of energy sense. People can sense energy even if they don't know it, or they don't have a lot within themselves, right? They sense it even when they don't know they're sensing it. um, Oftentimes people will expose themselves around you, right? They will expose themselves as sort of a fiend for this energy, as they will expose themselves as in a relative place of scarcity of this energy, in comparison to you, right? They have less of this energy than you, and they will sort of expose that in certain ways, um, inefficiencies in their behavior, where you'll notice the inefficiency in their behavior, and you'll be able to show them, or just even demonstrate with yourself, a more efficient way of doing something. And you don't even think about it. It's all automatic. It's like you're on autopilot. It's like this energy is intelligence, right? You no longer have to it's no longer a question of like, oh, I just need to play enough chess, or I need to like study enough logic, or I need to, read more books, or I need to, you know, just lessen my stress and, work out more and do breathing techniques to, think faster and think smarter. No. All it is energy. That's it. That is it. You just needed energy. Real energy, not energy from a monster. Not energy from alcohol, not energy from a pill that you can pop, not energy from nicotine or a vape. You need energy, right? Core energy. There ain't nothing like it. And so people will sort of expose themselves unknowingly. They won't even, they can't help it, right? It's something that you start to see is happening. Some people even more well off than you. They might be making more money than you. They might have a better job than you. They might drive a nicer car than you. They might have a hotter girlfriend than you, or a girlfriend at all. And they still, in their interactions with you, if they interact with you for long enough, it's going to show, this disparity will show itself in certain ways. Inefficiencies, irrelevancies, right? Irrelevancies in their, in what they say. Oh, that's irrelevant. Because you can sort of get right to the meat of the matter. You don't waste words. I guess this is efficiency again, but you're just a more efficient organism, right? You're using your energy more smart and more intelligently. You have the discernment of how to use your energy. And you don't even control this. Like I said, like this is divine, man. This is something from above. Um, and it's all because it's all this gift, because you're doing the right things, right? Your this channel of energy expenditure through, you know, that guy, since you've cut that off, now the energy, since it cannot be created nor destroyed, it can only be channeled. It is channeled through your higher faculties, through your mind, through, or your body, right? You'll have better strength in the gym. You'll have better progress in the gym. Trust me. I've noticed that myself. My body has felt, I feel 7 years younger, 8 years younger. I feel strong again. My neck, like I don't have neck issues anymore. My neck used to go out a lot. Like, you get stronger too. But yeah, everybody wants what you want, what you have, but they don't know it, right? And it's like this, it's like energy is like the unspoken, it's almost like energy is the unspoken, like, ruler of the universe. It is sort of power in a way. It's not to say that it's ultimate. It's not to say that it's ultimate power, right? It's not to say that all of a sudden you have more money and status and influence than everybody else. No, there are people. No, you're not. It's not some. It's not some. Miracle overnight, right? This ain't. At least that won't happen overnight. I don't know what happens years down the road, yet to be determined. But um, there will still be people, obviously, that hold a lot more power than you. The U.S. government can still just, probably knock down your door and shoot you in the head anytime they want. It doesn't stop that. But it does show itself in the way that you can handle pressure. I think that's the main thing to take away here is under stress, under pressure, when the entropy is risen, when you raise the entropy, when the chaos, the disorder rises, that is where you will thrive when others crumble. And that is just so that is so key to getting ahead in life, I feel like. That is so key to leading others. That is so key to, thinking, thinking how to best operate your life, elevating your life, leveling up your life. It is so key to having others sort of look to you now as a sort of example, or, as a sort of source of, the decision maker, or, the leader or whatever. It is that ability to handle pressure, that ability to handle stress. I've said this before, it's almost like you don't feel stress anymore. And I want to get into, like, the fact that I cannot stress this enough, that all of this is automatic. So what you notice is that all these areas that you are trying to improve in your life, whether you're trying to get better with women, right? Or you're trying to be better at speaking to people, or you're trying to get, be better at leveling up in your career, or you're trying to be better at this. You're trying to handle stress better. You're trying to do more things. You're trying to be more productive. You're trying to not be as lazy, right? What you notice is that all these things you cannot be taught. There is no like, we are all sold today on this idea that we can just watch. All we need to do is consume the right information. Like it's a problem of not having the right information. And that is just not the case. I mean, it's the case if you don't know semen retention, but it's not the case of like, you need to learn some technique. You need to read some book. You need to, do a step-by-step sort of program. You need to pay $1,000 a month for this sort of program. And if you just, read that every night before you go to bed and put it under your pillow at night, then, suddenly you'll be able to talk to women and get women like that. It's like, no, not even close. A lot of what all this stuff is unconscious. It is, or subconscious. It is something that you don't actually control. It 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 just emanates through you. You just become it when you are it. When you have enough energy, when you have an abundance of masculine energy within yourself, you become a masculine, energetic being. That is good with the feminine. That is good with females. Now you know how to talk to people. You're better in social situations. You're better handling stress. It's so much energetic. I can't even stress it enough. You literally will be able to handle so much more. Your bandwidth skyrockets. You can get through days without feeling like the day kicked the shit out of you. You get through the day and you're like, yeah, that was a good day. That was a productive day. Yeah, tomorrow we'll do it again. You don't feel like life is just killing you every single day, just beating you down. You feel like you're actually like, life ain't so bad. Like life's just life. Like life's chill. It's like there was a veil of like, there was so many veils of um like problems, make believe sort of perceptions, certain fears, certain preoccupations, certain thought loops, certain things that preoccupied your mind, and it just made you inefficient. It bogged you down. You felt like you couldn't like you weren't seeing the world clearly, and there were these veils were so heavy that you just felt like life was just hard, right? You just felt like, oh, it seems as if it just gets harder over time. And I'm not even doing that much. You look at Elon Musk and you're like, how can he like get 2 hours of sleep a night and, fly here and fly there and do all these things? And he's tweeting memes the entire time. And, he's sending rockets into space and he's throwing out, 80% of the government employees. Like, how can he do all this? And I can't even, get groceries. And it's like, it's energy, my guy. You think Elon Musk is jerking off every night? You think Bezos was jerking off every night when Amazon was, you know, worth nothing? I don't know. Bezos, he kind of looks like he was jerking off every night back then. But, you know, that required an enormous amount of energy, I'm sure. I mean, it's not to say that energy is a requirement. It just might be that these guys are gifted. They have a great, willpower, and they were just naturally. Everybody's life is different. Your life is different from everybody else's. You can't judge other people. But if you are on the semen retention journey, you are on it for a reason. You are probably a person that can greatly benefit from it. You're probably a person that really struggle because you can benefit so much from it. Probably means that your energy is very, very strong to begin with, which is why you were releasing it, why you were so addicted to, the sexual desires, why you had to get rid of it, because your energy is so potent and powerful when it's retained. It makes sense that because it's so potent and powerful if retained, that that's why you were expelling it all those years. That's why you had to get rid of it all those years, because it just felt like it was just too much, like it would just eat you up. And this is what semen retention does feel like. Like sometimes it feels like it'll just eat you up. Like it'll consume, like the pressure will just consume you. Like you get so horny sometimes, it's just like, just consumes you. But it's all worth it. When you start seeing these benefits, when you start seeing like what's going on, when you start just operating like, you just start operating, it's night and day, right? Your hard drive, your generator core, your bandwidth, your ability to see things and discern things in others, to come up with a solution where you're just like, how did that even come up? You just kind of know how to do things, and people naturally just let you take the lead now. Because I swear to God, it's like they know. It's like they have some deep sense that okay, this is a guy I can kind of just let him do. Like I can just kind of let him take control here, because he probably knows what he's doing better than me anyway. You know what I mean? It's kind of like they just, and people will also like, they'll expose, like I said before, they expose themselves when they're interacting with you. If they talk to you long enough, it's like there's a huge component of balance to this. When you are on semen retention, you start to become more balanced, even though you can have days where you feel absolutely insane. As a general sort of trend, though, you start to deal with these difficult emotions. You start to get better and better at honing your difficult emotions, dealing with them head on. You start to become a more balanced person. You start to get your emotions start to play less and less of a role on pulling you in certain ways. It's like you're bringing everything in. It's like you're a black hole. You're sucking everything into yourself, right? You're becoming a more gravitational body that has a bigger gravitational pull, right? So you have balance. And when people interact with you, you'll notice that oftentimes they'll kind of interact with you not recklessly. They're gonna be very wary about interacting with you. They're gonna kind of check themselves. They're gonna be hesitant. There's gonna be a hesitancy there. And the more that they interact with you, especially if they get into some sort of disagreement, or there's some sort of way where there's different views, different opposing views, right? They can expose themselves with imbalance. What will show is their lack of balance relative to yours, right? Because you are now a more balanced person. You're dealing with things head on. You're more real to the core. You have more energy. You have more core energy. And not to say that you'll have more core energy than everybody. Maybe there's people around you that just have abundance of core energy, and they are, you know, maybe they have more energy than you. I don't know. But you'll notice that there will be a lot more people around that don't. And these people will expose themselves the longer that they interact with you. They can tend to expose themselves by just seeming, by just like emotional imbalances. They'll tend to get a little more emotional, get a little more imbalanced, erratic in their behaviors relative to you, who's kind of just like this. You stay put. You're kind of just firm, confident within yourself. And it is something that people will, they'll notice. They'll notice and they'll be like, man. So now they'll kind of check themselves when they're interacting with you from now on. And because that's kind of something that we all look for, like socially, as human beings, we all are very clued into energy. So if there's, a group of people, and one of the individuals is very just chill and within himself, and just, saying things, not afraid to express himself, but he expresses himself very clearly and concisely, doesn't get overindulged, doesn't get, pulled in different ways. And then there's another person that's just all over the place, kind of losing their shit, or at least relative to that person. Then we kind of see it as like, like there's this unspoken recognition that, okay, this guy probably, it's almost like it doesn't even matter what they're saying. I swear, it's almost like it doesn't even matter what they're saying. It's who's saying it, and like how much energy is behind what's being said, right? What is the power behind the words that are being said? It's not even necessarily what's being said, which is absolutely crazy. It's kind of crazy. Not to say that you can say anything you want. If you just have abundance of energy, you can just say whatever you want, and you're not gonna get proven wrong or anything like that. But I think that it matters to a significantly less degree than we think. I think that that the power, the conviction, the balance with which somebody speaks their words, or speaks their mind, or carries themselves, goes a lot further than the sort of, what may be logically making sense, maybe the most intellectually backed, whatever's being said. It's the most intellectually backed. It's what's all the authors and the peer-reviewed journals agree on, or whatever. But if the guy who's saying it is just kind of like losing his mind about it, or shows that he's just not as confident about it, or he's just that it doesn't come from a place of, energy or power, then I think that it's not, people aren't really going to gravitate to it as much, if that makes any sense. But people are going to have, or people are going to want what you have. They're going to want what you have, and they're not even going to know what it is. But they know that you're a source of something, right? You're different in some way. Yeah, it's just wild. Just wild. All right, that's it. That's the video.